Hey guys, tonight we enter the world of matcha. Picture this, you're in a traditional Japanese tea room, surrounded by simplicity, earth-toned walls, tatami mats underfoot, and the faint scent of incense in the air. The only sound you hear is the rhythmic stirring of a bamboo whisk in a bowl of bright green matcha. The matcha master is completely focused, his every movement slow and deliberate, as if time itself has been put on pause. There's an aura of peace and stillness, almost like you've stepped into another world. This is the world of matcha, where Zen philosophy meets the art of tea preparation. You probably won't survive this, you'd be too calm and at peace to think about anything else. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop your location and local time in the comments, because I love seeing where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The origins of matcha in Japan are steeped in centuries of history. This finely powdered green tea, traditionally served in a ceremony, has roots in ancient Buddhist practices that date back to the Tang dynasty in China. It was during the 9th century, however, that matcha made its way to Japan, carried over by the Buddhist monks who used it to stay awake during long meditation sessions. Imagine being a monk, sitting for hours, with your legs going numb, trying to stay awake and focused on your practice. Enter matcha, its energizing qualities helped monks maintain their meditative focus for longer periods. Over time, matcha evolved in Japan, taking on its own cultural significance, becoming an essential part of Zen practice. Historians still argue whether matcha's primary role in Japan was initially about helping monks stay awake for meditation or if it was purely for spiritual clarity and enlightenment. Some suggest that it was first introduced purely as an energy booster, while others argue that it became immediately integrated into Zen meditation practices as a means to support mindfulness. Regardless, matcha became a deeply spiritual drink, associated with Zen principles of mindfulness, simplicity, and presence. Today, it remains an iconic part of Japanese culture and Zen tradition. As the matcha master prepares for the ritual, you observe the tools laid out before him, each one purposeful and essential. These aren't just everyday objects, they're instruments of mindfulness, carefully chosen for their role in creating the perfect cup of tea. There's the matcha bowl, wide and shallow, designed to allow the whisk to move with ease. The bamboo whisk, known as a chasen, is delicate, its thin prongs carefully shaped to create the frothy consistency that is key to the tea's texture. And then there's the chashaku, the bamboo scoop, which is used to measure just the right amount of matcha powder. Everything has its place, and every tool serves its function. Now, imagine the serenity of the scene. The matcha master dips the chashaku into the matcha tin, carefully scooping out the vibrant green powder with precision. He places the powder into the matcha bowl, his hands steady and measured. The motion is slow, deliberate, there's no rush. As he brings the chasen to the bowl, he begins to whisk, gently at first, then faster, creating a smooth, frothy texture. The sound of the whisk against the bowl is rhythmic, calming, almost meditative. The tea is ready, and now, it's time for the master to focus on the ritual of serving. Historians still debate whether this precise, methodical way of preparing matcha was developed specifically for Zen practice or if it was an evolution of tea preparation in Japanese culture at large. Some argue that Zen monks, with their emphasis on mindfulness and the present moment, refined the ritual of matcha preparation to create a truly meditative practice. Others believe that the techniques were part of the broader tea culture, which was gradually adopted into Zen practice over time. Regardless of its origin, the preparation of matcha has become a deeply symbolic ritual, one that goes beyond merely making tea. The Zen approach to matcha preparation isn't just about the act of drinking tea, it's about the process itself. In Zen, every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity for mindfulness. The making of the matcha is an act of devotion, a quiet moment where the practitioner is fully present in the task at hand. There's no rushing, no distractions. Each movement, the whisking, the serving, even the way the matcha is measured, is done with full attention. This intentionality in every action, no matter how small, is a core principle in Zen practice. And as you sip the matcha, you realize that the entire experience is about more than the taste. It's about the journey, the slow, deliberate preparation, the mindfulness in each step, the deep focus required to truly appreciate the process. For the matcha master, it's not just about creating a cup of tea, it's about embodying the Zen principles of presence and clarity. Every cup of matcha serves as a reminder to slow down, to be present, and to fully engage with the moment. As the matcha master serves the tea, the room is filled with a peaceful silence, broken only by the sound of the bamboo whisk moving through the frothy green liquid. The matcha is served with great care, each cup an offering of both skill and spirit. The master's movements are deliberate, graceful, almost like a dance. Every step of the process is performed with a deep sense of respect, not just for the tea, but for the moment itself. In the Zen tradition, every action is done with purpose, and the preparation and serving of matcha is no different. The tea is passed to you, and you bow slightly in gratitude, acknowledging the effort that has gone into the preparation. Holding the warm bowl in your hands, you notice how it feels to drink this tea. It's not just about the taste, it's about the ritual, the attention to detail, and the mindfulness that surrounds it. As you take your first sip, you're not simply drinking matcha, you're experiencing the moment, absorbing the calm and clarity that the tea brings. You're participating in a process that has been perfected over centuries, a practice that connects you to the quiet simplicity of Zen. Historians still debate whether the practice of drinking matcha, in its ritualistic form, was always part of Zen practice or if it evolved over time. Some suggest that the drinking of tea was initially a simple, everyday activity, and only later did it become a more deliberate and mindful ritual. Others argue that Zen practitioners saw the potential for tea as a tool for meditation and mindfulness from the beginning, integrating it into their spiritual routines. No matter the origin, one thing is certain: the act of drinking matcha, in this Zen context, is an experience far beyond simply quenching your thirst. The tea ceremony, with its specific steps and deep symbolism, is a meditation in itself. Each sip is an invitation to pause and be present in the moment, to stop the busy chatter of the mind, and to fully experience what's in front of you. The sound of the whisk, the warmth of the bowl in your hands, the smooth texture of the tea as it slides over your tongue, all of these are small, mindful acts, connecting you to the present. It's a reminder that, in the rush of everyday life, there is value in slowing down, paying attention, and allowing yourself to be fully immersed in the experience. As the tea is consumed, the master observes the guests, noting their reactions, both to the tea and to the process. The Zen master's focus is on the energy created between the tea, the space, and the participants. They are as much a part of the ritual as the matcha itself. The process of making, serving, and drinking the tea is a way of bringing people together in a shared experience of mindfulness and peace. The Zen tea ceremony is not just about the individual, but about the group and the collective energy that is created. As the matcha master finishes the tea ceremony, there's a palpable sense of tranquility in the room. The ritual is complete, but its effects linger. The master's role isn't just to prepare tea, it's to guide others into a state of presence, to help them experience the moment fully, without distraction. The matcha ceremony, in its entirety, is a reflection of Zen practice itself, simple, yet profound. The preparation of the tea, the serving, and the drinking, all of it is done with a deep sense of mindfulness and care. And this, in turn, creates a space for the participants to connect with themselves and the present moment in a way that is often lost in the busyness of modern life. The master bows in gratitude, and the participants return the gesture, acknowledging the sacredness of the shared experience. For the Zen master, the act of serving tea is a way to teach and embody Zen principles. It's not just about the physical act of making tea, it's about demonstrating the values of mindfulness, balance, and harmony in every step. The Zen tea ceremony isn't about doing something perfectly, it's about doing it with full presence and intention, about engaging fully with each action, no matter how small. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony was initially meant to be a way for the master to impart wisdom to others, or if it was simply an extension of the master's own practice. Some suggest that the ceremony evolved out of the monastic routines of Zen practitioners, while others believe that the tea ceremony, in its formalized state, became a way to teach mindfulness and Zen philosophy to a broader audience. Regardless of its origins, it's clear that the tea ceremony itself became an art form, a practice that extended beyond the ritual and into the lives of those who participated. But beyond the practice itself, the act of preparing matcha is also deeply personal. The matcha master's routine is a form of self-care, a moment of peace amidst the chaos of daily life. The process of preparing the tea, measuring the matcha, whisking it into frothy perfection, it's all done with a deep sense of focus, ensuring that every step is executed with precision and care. This is where the true essence of the Zen routine lies, in the commitment to the process, in the act of doing something with full awareness, whether it's tea preparation, meditation, or even just sipping the tea. The act itself is an opportunity to reconnect with one's mind, body, and spirit. Imagine now that the master finishes preparing the tea, and with a small, serene gesture, they pass the bowl to you. This moment isn't rushed, it's quiet, contemplative. You accept the bowl, and as you take your first sip, you're not just tasting matcha, you're participating in a centuries-old practice of mindfulness. The ritual of preparing and drinking tea, done in the way of the Zen master, connects you not only to the rich tradition of matcha in Japan but to the stillness of the present moment, the gentle calm that permeates the air. As the matcha master observes you, sipping the tea, there's a shared understanding that transcends words. The ritual is complete, and yet, the essence of the ceremony lingers. Every action, from the careful preparation of the matcha to the slow, deliberate sip, creates a ripple of mindfulness in the room. It's in the way the bowl feels in your hands, warm and grounding. It's in the taste of the matcha itself, a balance of bitterness and sweetness that lingers on your tongue, much like the fleeting quality of the present moment. In Zen, everything is interconnected, and the preparation of matcha is no exception. It becomes a reflection of the master's philosophy, every movement infused with intention and clarity, every gesture a step towards mindfulness. The simplicity of the ceremony stands in stark contrast to the complexities of modern life. In our fast-paced world, we rarely take time to slow down, to focus on the task at hand, or to be fully present in the moment. But in the Zen tradition, everything, from the preparation of tea to the way we interact with the world, is an opportunity to be mindful, to bring our full awareness to whatever we are doing. The tea ceremony becomes a model for how to live, not rushing, not distracted, but fully immersed in each action. This deep presence is something the matcha master imparts not just through words, but through the silent language of the ritual itself. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony, in its current form, was always intended as a spiritual practice or if it evolved over time as a cultural event. Some suggest that the ceremony was initially a private monastic activity, meant solely for the personal growth of the practitioner. Others believe that it was originally intended as a social gathering, a way for Zen masters to share their teachings with the wider community. Regardless of its origin, it's clear that over time, the Zen tea ceremony became a deeply spiritual practice, grounded in mindfulness, and an essential part of Zen philosophy. What's most striking about the tea ceremony, and matcha preparation in particular, is its emphasis on the present moment. Each step in the process is a chance to connect with the here and now. As you sip the matcha, you're not just drinking tea, you're participating in a ritual that has been passed down for centuries. The act of making and drinking matcha becomes a meditative experience, a way to quiet the mind and center the body. It's a reminder that even in the most mundane tasks, there is an opportunity for mindfulness. Whether you're whisking the tea, pouring the hot water, or taking a sip, every movement is an invitation to be fully present. Imagine, for a moment, that you are the matcha master, hands steady and focused, every action deliberate and calm. The preparation of the tea becomes a meditation in itself. You are fully aware of every motion, every detail, the way the whisk moves through the matcha, the sound of the whisking, the temperature of the water. The world around you fades, and there is nothing but the task at hand. The matcha, in its simplicity, provides a doorway to mindfulness, a way to reconnect with the present moment and with your own inner stillness. As the tea ceremony comes to a quiet close, you begin to realize that the ritual isn't just about the matcha itself, it's about the space it creates. The preparation of the tea, the deliberate slowness of each action, the focus on each step, all serve as reminders to slow down and center yourself. Matcha, in the Zen tradition, isn't merely a drink, it's a practice, a tool for cultivating mindfulness, and a way to embrace the present moment fully. The master's role is not only to prepare the matcha but to guide others into this state of awareness, allowing them to experience the depth of the ritual and the peace it brings. Now, you sit in silence, your bowl empty, yet the experience lingers. The warmth of the matcha bowl in your hands, the taste of the tea still on your tongue, the stillness in the air, all of these sensory details have woven together to create an experience that transcends the simple act of drinking tea. It's a moment of clarity, a moment where the world slows down just long enough for you to breathe, to focus, and to connect with the present. This is the magic of the Zen matcha master's routine. It takes something as simple as making tea and transforms it into a deeply spiritual experience. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony was always intended as a meditative practice or if it was initially just a way to share the art of tea preparation. Some suggest that it evolved from the simplicity of daily life into a spiritual practice as Buddhism and Zen philosophies spread. Others believe that the mindfulness embedded in the tea preparation was always inherent to the practice, rooted in ancient traditions that sought to harmonize the body, mind, and spirit. What is clear, however, is that today, the Zen tea ceremony has become synonymous with peace, mindfulness, and a return to simplicity. The matcha master's routine is about more than the tea, it's about the intentionality behind each step. Every whisk, every pour, every breath taken during the ceremony is a chance to engage fully with the present moment. The master's role is to set the stage for others to experience this. It's not just about serving tea, it's about teaching others to approach life with the same mindfulness and attention to detail that goes into making a bowl of matcha. By taking the time to focus on the small details, the master helps others slow down, find balance, and center themselves in the present. Imagine, as the ceremony continues, that you're not just a participant but a student. You're learning how to live in the moment, how to approach everything with the same focus and mindfulness that the master demonstrates. This is the true power of the Zen matcha master's routine. It teaches you to see the beauty in the mundane, to appreciate the simplicity of each action, and to recognize the value of every moment. As you reflect on the experience of the Zen tea ceremony, you begin to understand that matcha, and the ritual surrounding its preparation, serves as a kind of microcosm for Zen philosophy itself. In Zen, every action is an opportunity for mindfulness, a chance to focus on the present moment. The preparation of matcha is no different, it's a practice of deep attention, where every detail counts, from the careful measurement of the powder to the gentle whisking that creates the frothy green liquid. This is not just a routine, it's a meditation in motion, an embodiment of Zen's emphasis on being fully present, regardless of the task at hand. Now, imagine how the master prepares each bowl of matcha. The focus isn't just on getting the right consistency or making sure the tea tastes perfect, it's on the process itself. There's a gentle rhythm to the way the matcha is measured, the water poured, and the whisk moved. Every movement is fluid, intentional, and mindful, transforming the act of tea preparation into a meditative practice. As the master works, there's no rush, no distraction. The tea is prepared slowly, deliberately, and with the full presence of mind. It's in this slowing down of time that the true beauty of the ritual unfolds. Historians still argue whether the tea ceremony, in its earliest form, was solely for meditative purposes or if it gradually evolved into a spiritual practice as Zen Buddhism deepened its influence on Japanese culture. Some believe that the ritual began as a simple social activity, a way to enjoy tea in a more refined setting, while others argue that it was always intended as a practice of mindfulness, from the very beginning. Regardless of its origins, what is undeniable is the role of the Zen tea ceremony in fostering a deeper sense of presence and awareness. It teaches practitioners to approach life with patience, humility, and reverence, using the act of tea preparation as a gateway to the larger practice of mindfulness. The significance of the tea preparation extends beyond just the master, it invites you, the participant, into the ritual. Every sip of matcha is an opportunity to engage fully with the present moment, to appreciate the taste, the warmth, and the serenity that come with the tea. It's not just about drinking matcha, it's about immersing yourself in the entire experience, from the first sip to the final reflection. The Zen master has created an environment where time slows down, where the external world fades away, and where all that matters is the present moment. Through the simple act of drinking tea, you're reminded of the power of presence, of being fully aware of where you are and what you're doing. Imagine how this practice could change the way you approach everyday tasks. The idea that every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity to be fully present can be transformative. Whether you're washing dishes, walking down the street, or having a conversation, there's a power in being mindful of each step, each word, each action. The Zen Matcha Master's routine teaches you that nothing is too small to be significant. By immersing yourself in the present moment, you can turn even the most mundane tasks into meaningful rituals of mindfulness. As you continue to experience the Zen tea ceremony, you begin to appreciate how the simple act of preparing and drinking matcha can become a deeply spiritual experience. The routine of the master is not just about the tea itself, but about creating a space where the practitioner can fully immerse themselves in the present moment. It's an invitation to let go of distractions, to surrender to the rhythm of the process, and to find stillness in a world that is often filled with noise and haste. The Zen Matcha Master doesn't just make tea, they create an environment that fosters peace, clarity, and a deep connection to the present. Imagine that you are now fully engaged in the experience. The tea has been prepared, the bowl placed in front of you, and the ceremony is unfolding with quiet elegance. There's no rush, no need to be anywhere else. The world outside has faded away, leaving only the soft warmth of the bowl in your hands and the subtle aroma of the matcha filling the air. You take a slow sip, savoring the earthy taste, and in that moment, you feel the stillness settle within you. There's a sense of peace that washes over you, as if the tea has brought a sense of clarity to your mind and calm to your spirit. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony was always designed to promote mindfulness or if it evolved over time to become more structured and ceremonial. Some scholars suggest that the ritual grew out of the simple, everyday practice of drinking tea and was gradually refined into a meditative form as Zen Buddhism took hold in Japan. Others believe that from the start, the tea ceremony was intended as a spiritual practice, a way to bring people into the present moment through the ritual of tea preparation. Regardless of its origin, it's clear that the tea ceremony, in its current form, is a practice rooted in mindfulness, simplicity, and a profound connection to the moment. In the Zen tea ceremony, there's also an emphasis on the fleeting nature of the experience. Every moment is impermanent, and the ritual is a reminder to appreciate the present while it lasts. The process of making the tea, serving it, and drinking it is not just about the final product, it's about the journey, the mindfulness in every step. The master and participant are both aware that the ceremony will end, the tea will be consumed, and the moment will pass. But in that brief window of time, there is peace, there is connection, and there is clarity. The Zen tea ceremony teaches you to embrace the impermanence of life, to appreciate the beauty in fleeting moments, and to savor each one with full presence. Just as the tea is fleeting, so too are the moments of rest and peace in our own lives. In our busy, fast-paced world, we often overlook the small, simple moments that could bring us peace and clarity. The Zen tea ceremony teaches us to slow down, to be present, and to appreciate the simplicity of the moment. Whether it's sipping a cup of tea, taking a walk, or simply sitting in silence, the practice of mindfulness can transform the most mundane actions into profound spiritual practices. By embracing the ritual and the mindfulness that comes with it, we can reconnect with the deeper aspects of ourselves and the world around us. As the final sip of matcha lingers on your tongue, you begin to realize how much the Zen Matcha Master's routine is about more than just preparing tea, it's about embodying a philosophy that can be applied to every part of life. The slow, deliberate movements, the careful attention to every detail, and the focus on the present moment are all part of a deeper practice of mindfulness that transcends the act of tea preparation. The master isn't just making tea, they are embodying the Zen way of life, and by doing so, they invite you into that same state of presence and clarity. The true beauty of the Zen Matcha master's routine lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require elaborate tools, grand gestures, or complicated steps. It's about doing one thing at a time, with full attention and care. In a world that's often filled with distractions and multitasking, the Zen approach offers a refreshing reminder that we can find peace in the most basic tasks. The act of preparing and drinking matcha becomes a ritual of returning to the present, of letting go of worries, and of embracing the simplicity of being. Imagine that after the ceremony, you feel a sense of calm that extends beyond the tea itself. You've experienced something that goes beyond just sipping a warm beverage. You've entered a space of mindfulness that has reset your mind and spirit. The Zen master's routine, from the preparation of the matcha to the quiet contemplation afterward, has reminded you that life's most profound moments often come in the simplest forms. The art of making tea, like the art of living, is found in the small, quiet moments where we give ourselves fully to the present. Historians still debate whether the Zen tea ceremony was always practiced in the same way we see it today, or whether it evolved over time. Some suggest that the modern form of the ceremony, precise, slow, and deliberate, was influenced by the spread of Zen Buddhism and its emphasis on mindfulness and simplicity. Others argue that the ritual of tea preparation was always a part of Zen practice but became more formalized over time. Either way, it's clear that the tea ceremony, in its current form, is not just about the tea, it's about the experience, the presence, and the shared moment between master and participant. The Zen Matcha master's routine, in its quiet elegance, teaches you that even the simplest actions can hold great meaning. Whether it's preparing a cup of tea, taking a deep breath, or simply being present with yourself, every moment offers an opportunity to practice mindfulness. This is the essence of Zen practice, to be fully present, to embrace simplicity, and to find peace in the now. And the next time you make a cup of tea or engage in any daily task, you might find yourself embodying the same mindfulness and intentionality that the Zen Matcha master so gracefully demonstrates. As you reflect on the Zen master's routine, you begin to appreciate how each step of the matcha preparation is a profound lesson in patience and mindfulness. The deliberate slowness of each movement, the care given to every detail, and the focus on the present moment all come together to create a deeper experience than just drinking tea. The Zen tea ceremony isn't just about consuming a beverage, it's a lesson in living. By embracing this routine, you learn that true peace doesn't come from external circumstances but from the ability to be fully present in whatever you are doing. The Matcha master, with each graceful motion, teaches you how to embrace simplicity and quiet. The whisking of the tea, the slow measuring of the powder, and the careful pouring of hot water are not rushed, they are done with complete attention and intention. There's no hurry, no desire to finish quickly. Everything is approached with the understanding that the act itself is as important as the outcome. This mindfulness, this way of living in the present, is what makes the Zen Matcha master's routine so transformative. It's not about the tea, it's about the peace you create in your mind by being present in the act. Historians still debate whether the tea ceremony was originally conceived as a tool for meditation or whether it evolved into that role over time. Some argue that the ceremony was initially about enjoyment and hospitality, with the mindfulness aspect coming later, while others believe the ceremony was always designed to support Zen practice. Either way, what is undeniable is that the tea ceremony today is firmly intertwined with the principles of Zen Buddhism, particularly the idea of living in harmony with the present moment. The preparation of matcha is no longer just about creating a drink, but about engaging in a practice that teaches patience, attention, and presence. Now, as the ceremony ends and the last drops of matcha are sipped, you realize that this practice isn't confined to the tea room, it's something that can be integrated into every part of your life. The Zen approach to tea is a reminder that the simplicity and mindfulness in our daily routines can bring peace and clarity to our minds. Just as the Matcha master moves with deliberate care, we too can apply this same mindfulness to our actions, whether it's something as small as making a cup of tea, folding laundry, or even just walking down the street. Every act, when performed with presence and focus, becomes a meditation in itself. Think about your own routines. How often do you rush through tasks, distracted by thoughts of the future or the past. The Zen Matcha master's routine reminds us that every moment can be an opportunity to practice mindfulness. Every task, no matter how mundane, can become a ritual when approached with intention. Whether you're preparing a meal, tying your shoes, or even just sitting quietly, you can infuse your actions with the same mindfulness and presence that the Zen tea ceremony embodies. In this way, the practice of Zen isn't just something that happens in a tea room, it's a way of living, a way of being fully present in the world. As you consider the teachings of the Zen Matcha master, you begin to realize how much the Zen tea ceremony is about understanding the impermanence of life. The tea, once made, doesn't last long, just as each moment in life is fleeting. The very act of preparing matcha and drinking it becomes a metaphor for the transient nature of all things. The master isn't just making tea, they are offering a lesson in mindfulness, in embracing each moment as it is, and in letting go as soon as it has passed. This impermanence is not something to be feared, it's something to be appreciated and celebrated. Imagine that after sipping your matcha, you sit in silence for a moment, fully aware of the taste still lingering on your tongue and the warmth of the bowl in your hands. That moment, when everything is calm, when you are fully present, feels like an eternity, even though it's gone in the blink of an eye. The Zen tea ceremony teaches us that we can't hold on to any one moment, we can only experience it as it comes, savor it, and then let it go. The matcha master, through this simple act of tea preparation, shows you that it is in the letting go, in the acceptance of impermanence, that true peace and clarity are found. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony was always intended to be a practice in impermanence, or if that aspect emerged over time as the practice evolved. Some believe that the ceremony began as a form of mindfulness that eventually incorporated the recognition of impermanence. Others argue that the understanding of impermanence was always central to Zen philosophy and, by extension, to the tea ceremony. Either way, the connection between mindfulness and impermanence is deeply embedded in the practice. The preparation of matcha, like life itself, is fleeting, and it's this very transience that makes it so valuable. The master's role, as you observe, is not only to prepare tea but to guide you in the process of experiencing the present moment. In the fleeting nature of the tea ceremony, the master teaches you to slow down, to appreciate, and to release. This is what makes the Zen approach to matcha so powerful. It isn't about the tea itself, but about what the tea represents, a moment of clarity in a world full of distractions. The master doesn't rush you, they let you savor each moment, each sip, before gently moving to the next. The experience, like the tea, is ephemeral, but it's in that very impermanence that its beauty is found. And as you finish your tea, you realize that the lessons of the Zen Matcha master extend far beyond the tea room. The understanding of impermanence, of living fully in the moment, is a lesson that can be applied to every aspect of life. The way you approach your work, your relationships, and even your daily routine can be transformed by this simple yet profound idea, that everything is temporary, and so each moment must be lived with full awareness. In a world that often pulls us in 1,000 different directions, the Zen Matcha ceremony reminds us to slow down, to be mindful, and to appreciate the fleeting beauty of the present. As you reflect on the fleeting nature of the Zen tea ceremony, you begin to realize how deeply connected it is to the practice of self-awareness. The Matcha master's routine, slow and deliberate, is a reminder that each moment holds its own significance. It's easy to overlook the small, everyday rituals, like drinking a cup of tea, yet in the Zen tradition, even these mundane moments are filled with meaning. The tea ceremony is not about making tea, it's about being present in every step, every action, and in doing so, creating a connection to something greater than the task at hand. Imagine, for a moment, that every cup of tea you drink could become a meditative act. The careful preparation, the focus on the process, and the awareness in every sip could transform the simplest routine into a practice of mindfulness. The Matcha master doesn't just teach you how to whisk tea, he teaches you how to approach life itself, with intention, with focus, and with a full presence in the moment. This doesn't mean your life has to be filled with grand gestures or extreme actions, it simply means that everything you do, no matter how small, can become a chance to connect with the present, to embrace the act of being fully alive. Historians still debate whether the Zen tea ceremony was always designed to be a practice of mindfulness, or whether it evolved over time as a method of spiritual discipline. Some believe the original purpose of the ceremony was rooted in the simple pleasure of enjoying tea, with mindfulness and spiritual connection developing later as Zen practices became more integrated. Others argue that the practice was always intended as a way to deepen one's meditation and spiritual awareness. Regardless of its origins, what is clear is that the Zen tea ceremony became, over time, a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness in the everyday world. The act of preparing and drinking matcha offers a structured space where the mind can rest, focus, and truly engage with the present moment. In many ways, the Zen tea ceremony serves as a model for how we can approach our daily lives. In our fast-paced, constantly distracted world, it's easy to forget the importance of slowing down and fully engaging with the present. The Matcha Master's routine offers a gentle reminder that even the simplest tasks, whether it's making tea, walking, or eating, can become opportunities to practice mindfulness. By focusing on the task at hand, we can find peace and clarity in even the most ordinary moments. The tea ceremony is a model for how to cultivate a more peaceful, intentional life, one sip at a time. As you finish the tea, you feel a sense of calm, as though the act of drinking matcha has left you in a deeper state of awareness. The warm bowl, the earthy taste, and the quiet space you've created all contribute to a feeling of inner peace. The Zen Matcha Master's routine may seem simple on the surface, but it's a practice that teaches you to slow down, to appreciate the small details, and to be fully present in the moment. It's a practice that can be carried into every aspect of your life, a reminder that peace isn't something you have to search for, it's already here, in the present, waiting for you to notice. As you sit back and let the calm of the matcha ceremony settle within you, you begin to realize that the Zen Matcha Master's routine is as much about the environment as it is about the tea itself. The space around you, the quiet, the simplicity, the lack of distractions, is just as essential to the process as the preparation of the matcha. The tea ceremony is not just about what happens in the tea bowl, it's about the entire environment, from the moment you step into the room to the moment you leave. The space is set up to foster peace, mindfulness, and presence, creating a perfect backdrop for the ritual to unfold. Imagine the room where the ceremony takes place, calm, clean, and unadorned, with nothing that could distract you from the moment. The space is arranged with intention. The simple tea bowl, the bamboo whisk, and the warm water are the focus, while everything around you encourages you to center yourself in the present. This environment isn't a random choice, it's an essential part of the ritual. In Zen, the space is as much a part of the practice as the action itself. The simple, minimalist design of the room reflects the Zen principle of emptiness, the idea that by clearing away distractions, you create space for the mind to settle, for clarity to emerge. Historians still debate whether the focus on simplicity in the tea room was a direct influence of Zen philosophy or if it developed organically as part of the tea culture in Japan. Some believe that the minimalist aesthetic was always part of the tea ceremony, designed to facilitate mindfulness and concentration. Others suggest that the minimalist tea room came about as Zen Buddhism influenced the broader cultural landscape, bringing a new appreciation for simplicity and quiet. Regardless of its origin, the practice of creating a calming, uncluttered environment for the tea ceremony is central to its power. In this space, there are no distractions, no external stimuli to pull you away from the present moment. It's just you, the tea, and the space around you. This connection between the environment and the practice of mindfulness is something that resonates far beyond the tea room. In today's world, where we are constantly surrounded by noise, distractions, and digital overload, the Zen tea ceremony reminds us of the importance of creating peaceful spaces. Whether it's a room for meditation, a quiet corner for reading, or a space to enjoy a cup of tea, the environment plays a crucial role in our ability to be present. By eliminating distractions and focusing on the simplicity of the space, we can enhance our ability to engage with the present moment. The Zen Matcha Master's routine, with its emphasis on both internal and external calm, is a powerful reminder of how our surroundings shape our experience of mindfulness. As you reflect on the role the environment plays in the tea ceremony, you realize that it's not just about the space in which the matcha is prepared, it's about creating an environment within yourself as well. The act of preparing matcha, much like the act of meditation, is about clearing your mind and creating space within for mindfulness to flourish. When you practice mindfulness, you are setting up an internal environment that allows you to focus, to be present, and to let go of distractions. Just as the tea ceremony requires a clear, simple space, your mind requires space to rest, to settle, and to engage with the present moment. As you continue to reflect on the simplicity and calm of the Zen tea ceremony, the idea of intentionality becomes even more important. Every step of the matcha master's routine is carried out with purpose, not just to make tea, but to create a space for mindfulness, to cultivate presence in a world that often rushes past us. The master's movements are slow, deliberate, and full of intention, and it's this very quality that allows the matcha ceremony to become a practice of spiritual clarity. In Zen, mindfulness is key, and the matcha master embodies this principle in every aspect of their routine. Each movement, no matter how small, is infused with purpose. Imagine, once more, the calmness that pervades the space as the matcha is prepared. The master moves with slow precision, each motion purposeful and free from distraction. When the whisk dips into the bowl, it's done with intention, slowly, carefully, as if the whisking itself were an act of meditation. There's no rush. The pace is steady, like the flow of time itself. This is the beauty of Zen mindfulness. It doesn't ask you to do more, it simply asks you to do what you're doing with full attention. In the tea ceremony, there is no past or future, there's only the present moment, the present motion, the present connection between the master and the tea, between the tea and the participant. Historians still argue whether the Zen tea ceremony was always an act of spiritual mindfulness or whether it evolved into that as Zen teachings deepened their influence on tea culture. Some suggest that the ceremony began as a way to drink tea in a more refined manner, gradually becoming more deliberate and meditative over time. Others believe the meditative aspect was inherent from the start, as the ritual was always intertwined with Zen teachings. Regardless of its origins, it's clear that the tea ceremony, as it is practiced today, is deeply connected to the principles of mindfulness, simplicity, and presence. The matcha master doesn't just serve tea, they create a moment of peace, an opportunity for the participant to embrace the present and engage with the world in a calmer, more focused way. The Zen tea ceremony teaches that presence doesn't require grand gestures. It's found in the simplest of tasks, preparing matcha, whisking it, passing the bowl. It's about slowing down and appreciating each step as it comes. The process doesn't need to be rushed, it's the act of being in the moment, of appreciating the stillness and the simplicity, that makes the practice powerful. In the matcha master's hands, the bowl is more than just a vessel for tea, it becomes an invitation to engage fully with the present, to tune out the distractions of the world and step into a space where only the tea, the actions, and the awareness matter. This is the true gift of the Zen matcha master's routine. It's not just about drinking tea, it's about creating space for clarity, for mindfulness, and for connection. By slowing down and paying attention to each action, the master demonstrates the importance of living in harmony with the present. And by engaging in this routine, you too are invited to embrace that same mindfulness. The act of drinking matcha becomes a way to step into the moment, to create a space of peace and presence amidst the noise and rush of everyday life. Just like the master, you too can find a space to center yourself, to slow down, and to be fully engaged in the world around you. As the matcha master's routine draws to a close, you reflect on the lasting impact this ritual leaves, not just on the participants but on the very essence of daily life. The Zen tea ceremony, in all its simplicity, is more than just a series of steps, it's a practice that can be carried into the way we live, breathe, and move through the world. Every action, every moment, no matter how small, can be approached with the same mindfulness and presence that the master brings to the tea preparation. The essence of the Zen routine isn't just about tea, it's about life itself. It's a reminder that even in the most mundane tasks, we can find peace, stillness, and connection to the present moment. You realize that the true beauty of the matcha master's routine is its universality. While Matcha might be a specific tradition rooted in Japanese Zen, the principles behind it are something anyone can practice, regardless of where they are in the world. The focus on mindfulness, simplicity, and the reverence for the present moment can be applied to everything from brewing tea to daily chores to interactions with others. The Zen tea ceremony teaches us to slow down, to engage fully with whatever task is before us, and to find the beauty in the simplicity of the present moment. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. Historians still debate whether the Zen tea ceremony was always meant to be a meditative practice or if it evolved over time into the deeply spiritual ritual it is today. Some believe that it began as a way to drink tea more elegantly, with Zen principles gradually woven into the process. Others suggest that the meditative aspects were present from the very beginning, as Zen teachings naturally influenced the culture of tea. Regardless of its origins, it's clear that today, the tea ceremony has become a spiritual practice, deeply ingrained with mindfulness and presence. The master's routine teaches us that it's not the external world that demands our attention, it's the inner world that needs our focus. As you think back on the ceremony, you recognize how much of it you can carry into your own life. You can bring this presence into your daily activities, finding moments of mindfulness in the simplest tasks. The Matcha master doesn't just prepare tea, they prepare the mind, the heart, and the spirit. They remind us that every moment, whether big or small, is an opportunity to be fully engaged. When we live with intention, we not only make the most of each moment, but we also invite peace, clarity, and mindfulness into our lives. The Zen tea ceremony is a living example of the power of simplicity. The next time you find yourself rushing through your day, take a moment to slow down. Whether it's preparing a cup of tea, taking a walk, or simply breathing, you can embody the same mindfulness that the Zen Matcha master practices. Life, after all, is a series of small moments, and it's in those moments that we find peace and connection.